After months of anticipation, the Boston Pops took the stage this past Sunday on the Norwood Town Common. It was an unforgettable day that will be remembered in the town of Norwood for years to come.
Back in December of 2021, a dream started to become a reality for the town of Norwood. Chatter of the Boston Pops coming to perform on the town common gained momentum.
It all started when back in December, I got a phone call from a representative from DCD Holdings, Automotive Holdings, and they had said that they were interested in sponsoring a show of the Boston Pops to play here in Norwood. And I came to realize that the person on the phone didn't represent the Pops themselves, so I had to take it upon myself to call into the Pops, tell them about the story, that we want to bring the Pops to Norwood and figure out the logistics behind all that. The first thing I did was I called the Pops. I started emailing into the organization when I didn't hear back right away. And pretty much between the holidays and New Year's, I worked on getting the logistics in place for how can the Pops come out to Norwood.
After getting the green light from the Pops and securing additional donors, the wheels were set in motion. The only thing left to do was to figure out the logistics and how to pull this off. A group of volunteers and town employees stepped up to the plate and knocked it out of the park.
All in, it probably took hundreds, if not thousands of hours of work to actually make this happen. We would have 2 standing weekly meetings for about the 2 months prior to the event. Prior to that, we had a lot of regular meetings. There was contract negotiations with the Pops. There was some fundraising. We had a group of about 15 volunteers who were sort of our core volunteer group working on it, plus about a half a dozen town staff working on it to make it happen. And that all led up to the day of, which took about 100 volunteers and probably close to 100 town employees on that day, and a lot of other volunteers and town employees supporting them in the background.
June 26, 2022 will go down in Norwood town history as one of the best days on our little town common. Not only did the Boston Pops come to town, but 2 of our very own were on stage to celebrate and perform with the Boston Pops. Kyle Leonard, a recent graduate of NHS, joined the Pops on stage for a once-in-a-lifetime performance. Kyle talks about performing on the biggest stage of his life so far in front of his hometown.
Yeah, I was just in the car. I was waiting for one of my friends, and the coordinator called me and said, "This is what we're gonna play. It's definitely happening." I was dumbfounded. Because I was told it could happen, and it couldn't. There was a lot of things that had to happen for it to actually work. And when he called me and then he actually said we're playing the piece that I picked, it was surreal. Pure happiness. And this is actually happening. Every day it kind of got closer. I was like, whoa, this is happening 3 days from now, 2 days from now, tomorrow, today, in a couple hours. And just finally getting on that stage, it was a great feeling.
Kyle wasn't the only local legend on stage with the Pops. Retired Director of Fine Arts and founder of the NHS music program, Paul Alberta, joined the Pops on stage to conduct the finale. Paul Alberta recounts the moments from walking up those stairs and entering the stage as he looked out to see the residents of Norwood, family, friends, and former students.
I'm gonna choke up here. It was the thrill of my life. I looked out and to see Norwood react that way was fabulous. I had a ball from there. I had a ball. The orchestra was so responsive to everything that I did. They were into it. Of course, I knew a couple of the players in the orchestra anyway. But the greatest thing for me is twofold. Was the 150th birthday committee telling me that they unanimously and enthusiastically supported me conducting and being a part of the program meant the world to me, because it's like usually 2 years after you retire from a place, it's like, Paul who, but this has been 20 years, and the people, the way they responded with affection, with enthusiasm, it's something I'll never forget.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for, it's an honor to share the stage with Paul Alberta.
After teaching in Norwood for 39 years, Alberta knows once a Mustang, always a Mustang.
This has been my first job, was Norwood, and I stayed for 39 years. And Norwood is like home to me. Norwood has been everything to me, my whole professional life. I love Norwood. I love the people. This will always be my place.
Kyle gives special thanks to his family and his music teachers, Steve Conant and Paul Alberta, who he was able to share the stage with for the last piece of Sunday's show.
That just felt like a full circle moment, just like closing out my musical career in Norwood for now. It was amazing.
Keith Lockhart, conductor of the Boston Pops Orchestra, was thrilled to be able to perform and celebrate Norwood's 150th birthday celebration in front of the Norwood residents.
The Boston Pops is a worldwide famous organization, but really we're local. And we are so excited to be connected with our fans and our community. And Norwood turning 150 is a great chance to get out together and celebrate this wonderful town and bring the Boston Pops into the community. So we're so glad to be here.
It was a sigh of relief and joy when the Pops finally took the stage after months of planning. General Town Manager Tony Mizuko recaps the moments when he was able to sit back and take it all in.
So there was this immense sense of both relief and pride when you could see, or when I could look out and see, we've estimated about 4,500 people right here on the Common on a beautiful June day listening to the Boston Pops play right here on our Common. There was that sense of relief that the event is finally here, that it started, that they're playing, and sort of all that, the stress and the drama and all the million little battles you fight to make something like this happen, all sort of went away in that moment. And to see the smile on people's faces, to see them cheering and enjoying it, and kids enjoying it, and older folks enjoying it, and family, was just absolutely wonderful.
Mizuko tweeted later that night, "Sometimes they say there's no such thing as a perfect day, but at least in Norwood, I think today was a perfect day."